Good morning, boys and girls. Today we're starting a brand new unit in math. We're starting Unit 8. Unit 8 is all about geometry and arrays. Geometry is the study of shapes. We're going to start the unit off learning about shapes. Arrays are what we draw when we are beginning to learn about multiplication. We're going to get started with learning about two-dimensional shape attributes today. Attributes are just ways that we can describe shapes. So what I would like you to do is get the shape cards out that you cut out last week, those shape cards from the back of your journal. You should have an envelope of those shapes. If you do, go ahead and get those out. And I would like for you to go through them and find any three-sided shapes or four-sided shapes and put those into two different piles. Go ahead and pause the video now. Take some time to find that. Find your three-sided and your four-sided shapes, and then press play when you are ready for the next part. Here is an example of one of the three-sided shapes that I found. You should have found A, B, and C. Those cards are all three-sided shapes. What is this shape called? If you say triangle, you are correct. Many of you have known what this shape has been called since you were very young. Today we're going to talk about a couple of things, a couple of vocabulary words that go along with this shape as well as some other shapes. So the long line, there are three long lines that are connected, and we call those sides. So when we describe a shape, we want to talk about how many sides it has. We know that a triangle has three sides. In fact, the prefix tri means three. Three angle. What does that mean though? Well, a triangle also has three different corners, and each corner has a couple of specific names. So the inside part of a corner, the part that I am drawing right now, the inside part is called an angle. So let me go ahead and write that down. So this triangle has three angles. That's what helped someone name the shape. It has three different angles. An angle can look like a V. It can look like an L. It can look really, really open, wide. Angles can be different sizes depending on the shape that you're looking at. Okay, the outside part of the corner, the tippy top of the corner, is called a vertex. Can you say vertex? Great. Vertex is what we call the corner. So the inside of a corner is called an angle, and the point of the shape is called a vertex. Now, if I see three of these, we don't use the word vertex anymore. We actually use the plural word of vertex, and that is called a vertices. So this shape has three vertices, otherwise known as three different vertexes, right? We just don't say vertexes, we say vertices. Hopefully you found some shapes that also have four sides. If you found these shapes, D, G, H, I, J, K, and L, all of those shapes have four sides. I have drawn shape J on my board. What do we call shape J? If you said square, you are correct. Boys and girls, we can use some of the same vocabulary words to describe a square as we used with a triangle. How many sides does a square have? If you said four sides, you are correct. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many angles does a square have? If you said 4, you are correct. Notice that the angles of a square look kind of like I'm drawing a little box in there. A square has a special name for an angle, and it's called a right angle. So how many right angles does a square have? It has 4. Okay, and remember that fancy word we call the corner of a shape? We call it a vertex. How many vertices does this square have? If you said 4, you are correct. The square is a big fan of the number 4. Another attribute that we sometimes talk about with shapes is a new vocabulary word for you, and it's called parallel lines. Okay, so parallel lines, or parallel sides, I should say, are sides that are opposite each other. So this top side here and the bottom side here, those two sides we would consider parallel. Okay? The side on the left, right here, and the side on the right, those two sides are considered parallel. What does parallel mean, though? Parallel are two sides that, if kept on going, they would never ever touch or cross. So let's pretend like I have this square and I want to keep on drawing the top line on and on and on and on. And I want to keep on drawing the bottom line on and on and on and on. If I did that, I know that the top line and the bottom line are parallel because if I extend the sides, they will never, ever, ever touch. So that lets me know that those two opposite sides are parallel. Can I do the same thing with the sides that are going vertically? Yes, I can. If I extended this line on and on forever, up and down vertically, those two lines would never, ever, ever touch. So when we talk about parallel lines or parallel sides, as long as they will never touch, they are considered parallel. You did a great job listening and learning some new vocabulary words about shapes today. I would like for you to practice some of your math skills using your math boxes. You're going to be using page 195 today to practice some skills. And if you have time, you can also play a game called Top It. Your teacher can give you directions for how to play the game Top It. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'm excited about working on geometry with you. I love working with shapes. Hopefully you do too. And thanks for listening. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.